boss, not a buyer, dog. He don't compare, he a liar, dog. Stack it up till it can't fold, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10, gotta go, Stack it up till it can't fold, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10, gotta go, 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 go. Get off your phone, can't sit at a green light. Look how that shine reflect like a ring light. This is my podium, talking to 3 mics. I'm not no Brennan, have they the team winning. If I said it, you know that I'm in it. They tryna live on the corner, I bend it. Can't take those chances, ain't talking about Bennett. When they too lazy, they talking like critics. Why you so mad? Go get a bag. I'm in the lab, I don't move the same. Off of the password, back in my lane. I cannot sit in one place like a stain. Sharing that paper like ripping the page. I'm gonna be the last one to remain. Walk with the nearest, I'm spitting that flame. Hop out the cycle like it ain't a thing. Doing them heels, we running up. Hotel bar after the gig. Something to sip and getting drunk. For the case, baby, we gonna dip. Was I bad in them apartments? Started hitting the target. Started flooding the market. Started moving smarter until we rose about the garden. Stack it up till it can't fold, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10, gotta go, Stack it up till it can't fold, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10 in a row, I just did 10, gotta go, 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 go.
And I'm here today to take the Ice Bucket Challenge as well to support the fight against ALS and Rebel Heart and Rebel herself. And I was challenged by Sting to do this, so I accept that challenge by Sting, but also I challenge members of the Jaguars and the National Football League. Of course, Liam Cohen, the head coach of the Jaguars, James Gladstone, the general manager of the Jaguars, and our great Executive Vice President and NFL Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli. I challenge Liam, James, and Tony, and for myself, the challenge is accepted. That was great, and I'm so excited to be able to do something to support the fight against ALS. Rebel, that was for you. Stinger, challenge accepted. James, Tony, and Liam, I'm sure you're looking forward to that. And I will see you all September 9th, Wednesday night Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on TBS and HBO Max to support you, Rebel, for AEW Rebel Heart in the fight against ALS. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Tony Khan for taking the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge in support, of course, of former AEW, well, I guess current AEW talent. I'm not sure what her status is. Either way, AEW wrestling icon, Rebel. Of course, Rebel, you may remember, she was with AEW for a while. She was a valet for Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And, you know, unfortunately, recently she has been diagnosed with ALS, and it's quite unfortunate that has happened. It's, as Tony Khan kind of said there, you know, it affects like 1 in 300 people, and it's just great to see that the wrestling community, we saw TNA also give a very thoughtful shout out to Rebel recently. It's just great to see that they're hosting a show, like a charity show for her later on to raise money and awareness for ALS. You guys can go check out more about that at aewtogether.org. This is not a sponsored segment. This is not anything like that. I just thought that it was really cool to see the wrestling community, both in AEW, TNA, and across all those different divides come together for that. So getting that out of the way. Also, I thought it was funny as hell to see Tony like wince in pain. What I can only imagine is an insane amount of pain and coolness that he that he was in when he took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I took it like 10 years ago, and I remember that. It was cold, but I need to do that again. Anyway, we'll see. Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic. Welcome to everyone in the chat. We'll get to some of these questions. Just want to say hello to start off. Hello to Kara. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Mohamedou. Hello, everyone. Jamie, greetings from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Unfortunately, I have to miss AEW All In this year. I'm going on holiday in Thailand. Otherwise, we could meet up at Wembley. Yes, I will be at Wembley Stadium. AEW All In live. And unfortunately, Jamie, we won't be able to see each other there. But I'm sure that one of these London shows, one of these Europe shows, I'll see you. But enjoy Thailand, though. I hear very nice things about it. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. This is the most interactive wrestling stream on the interweb, and the reason for that is I try to fix. Why do I look so weird? Is it the coat? Is it the cardigan? Why is this so off? Like you guys see what I'm talking about? Should have had this figured out before the stream. This is what happens. My equilibrium is all off. Whatever. You know what? This is the way you got me. Internet. This is the way you got me. Anyway, so we got a lot to get into today, and we will. Of course, the big news, the Motor City Machine Guns have joined AEW. They made a very surprise and interesting, I should say, debut or return, if you will, to AEW last night on the live Thursday edition of AEW Collision. I will talk about that. Obviously, SummerSlam, WWE's biggest show of the summer, coming up Saturday and Sunday. We'll discuss that. SmackDown has some of the lowest ticket sales we've seen this week. I'll talk about why that is. So much more coming up right here in this stream. Be sure to smash that thumbs up. If you want to support the channel and guarantee your question or statement is read out, answered on the air, the best way to do that is by either leaving a super chat or by becoming a member for $5 a month. Let's talk about the big story, the first story, the most important story, and that has to do with the greatest professional wrestler of all time, and his name is The Miz. So this was interesting. Cody Rhodes this week on What Do You Want to Talk About? His podcast was very, very, very bold. He said, quote, anytime somebody sits with me and tells me, oh, I don't think Miz is a good wrestler, get the fuck out of here. You get the fuck out of here. Of course, The Miz being arguably one of the most mediocre wrestlers of all time. And in response to this, on Twitter, in response to Cody saying this, I said the following. Well, I guess this is me then. As you can see, I am indeed getting the fuck out of here. The Miz is trash. The Miz is a bad wrestler. Anyway. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to the real stuff. Actually, let's get to some chats first. Should AEW... I'll talk about AEW's ratings and whether or not they need to improve. Those just came out. Hello, Takara. It would be dope you see Johnny Gargano to be released from WWE before Rebel Heart. Well, I mean, I'm not going to pray that someone gets released or whatever unless that's what they want. I don't think that the name has anything to do with Johnny Gargano. I think it is everything to do with Rebel. How would you improve the U.S. title in WWE? How would you distinguish it differently from the IC title? It depends on where, which title you mean. I mean, like again, they have men's and women's. I think they do a bad job of booking both, to be honest. I think that, you know, defending them would be great. I mean, like, again, not to say Trick doesn't defend it, but, like, you know, there used to be an era in WWE where you would have, like, short-run mid-card feuds for these belts that would run through, like, you know, a couple of weeks of TV. And it feels like now all Trick does is defend the belt against, like, Carmelo Hayes or Sami Zayn. Like it feels like that's where we've been over the past couple of months. Like he hasn't had like, you know, like just like a generic. I mean, I say generic, but I don't really mean as in like, you know, mediocre. I mean generic as in like a, you know, like a tune-up feud. He hasn't had any tune-up feuds. They've all just been kind of like the mainstream stuff they've been going with. The only issue there is that like they've been running back the Carmelo trick stuff for about like 8 months now. Now, of course, he's defending the belt against Bebo Corbo, big old Baron Corbin, happy Corbin. But at the same time, I'm like, the build up to that has been pretty mediocre. Baron Corbin's return, I'm sure it's for somebody, but it sure as hell is not for me. But yeah. Do you think the WWE should bring back 30-day rules for championships? Well, they won't because Roman, and they won't because Punk, and they won't because Cody, and they won't because, for whatever reason, Liv Morgan has not defended the belt ever since she won it back at WrestleMania, and her defense coming up this Saturday is going to be her first defense of the belt since then, 100 days plus. They don't give a shit. They absolutely don't give a shit. Still can't believe Triple H fumbled the ball with the Motor City Machine Guns. I hope TK is doing right by them. I hope so too. I'm optimistic. I do think that like when you factor in like the Motor City Machine Guns and their history and the type of tag team that they are genuinely perfect for AEW. Like they are precisely the if I were to make a template of an AEW tag team, it would be the Motor City Machine Guns. So I think they'll be fine. Anyway, speaking of the Motor City Machine Guns, the Motor City Machine Guns did indeed make their AEW debuts / returns. Well, it's kind of complicated. They have appeared in AEW before. They did so as members of the then TNA roster, or the Impact Wrestling roster, I should say. And that was back when they had a working relationship. But, I am under the impression now that they are, and certainly signed. I mean, we all should be because we saw the graphic. And I think that the big reason for this is and I hope this is the big reason, is AEW's trying to reprioritize the tag team division in their company. For quite a while now, it feels like AEW has done a pretty bad job of trying to build up new teams. You've had some successes like the Broditos of the world, but it feels like it really are just kind of like giving the belts back and forth between FTR and the Young Bucks for the past couple of years. And don't get me wrong, fantastic tag team, but when the belt isn't on them, it feels like those tag teams, whether they be the Private Parties of the world, whether they be even the Broditos of the world, don't get to that level of like credible main event tag teams. I think part of the strategy, hopefully, here is to bring in the Motor City Machine Guns, inject some energy, inject some life, inject some renewed interest in the tag team division, and then when you bring in the New Day, when you bring in Kofi, when you bring in Austin Creed, that will also inject additional excitement, and you hopefully will have the recipe and the depth for a tag team renaissance in the company. And I think that's my guess as to why right now obviously they are also free agents, and it was Detroit. Part of me is kind of baffled, though, at the way they brought him in. It was very anticlimactic, seemed very lackluster, and not to say that the people in Detroit then didn't go crazy, but, for me, right, as an analyst of this, there's two sides to this. There's me looking at it from, like, the business side, which, again, as a fan is whatever. It's not my fucking company. But on the business side of things, Dynamite sold pretty well for the building they were in. They were sold, like, about, like, 3,500 tickets, maybe, give or take. That's good. And then the next night on Collision, they had less than 2,000. And they didn't even open up the upper decks. You could have sold, in theory, more tickets if you brought in the Machine Guns on Dynamite, and then on Collision, you promised like a big match. That would give additional eyeballs, hopefully, to Collision. That would give excitement for Collision. That would give Collision probably the ability to sell more tickets because people are like, oh my God, the Machine Guns are here. I got to go see them wrestle. But for whatever reason, that wasn't the case. Now, again, I don't know the backstory. I don't know why. I don't know the who, what, where, but that's what it is. Now, as far as they're joining AEW, there was a report out about some of the sentiment in the locker room about the Machine Guns joining the company, and it goes as such, according to PW Insider. I gotta stop saying it like Michael Cole. PW Insider, that's crazy. PW Insider, there were a lot of talent excited about Motor City Machine Guns signing with AEW, knowing they can have great matches with them. And really, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, these are two of the most experienced tag team wrestlers, not just of this generation, of all time. Of all time. There's going to be a lot of, like, people who only ever watched WWE who will tell you that the Machine Guns are nobodies, who will tell you the Machine Guns mean nothing to them. And that might be the case to them, but to professional wrestling, the Machine Guns are, in my view, one of the most heralded, decorated, talented, and gritty tag teams of all time. They are evidence that hard work in professional wrestling and dedication to your craft and the ability to excite the audience through storytelling, through matches, through your sheer fired ability are going to take you far in the business. And that is what they have done. They have demonstrated that. They have been in every company. They've held gold in every company they've been in. And now they're in AEW. And I expect them, even at 43 years old, they are going to kick ass in All Elite Wrestling. Because they have not lost a step. They have not lost a single step. And it is... I said this in my Motor City Machine Guns video over at youtube.com/WrestleVibes. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. But I said this in that video that it is insane, psychotic to me that the last time we saw the Motor City Machine Guns in a professional wrestling ring, that it wasn't on SmackDown. It wasn't on a pay-per-view. It wasn't on Monday Night Raw. It wasn't on NXT, even main event. No. The last time that the Motor City Machine Guns wrestled in a WWE ring or any wrestling ring for that matter was at WWE World WrestleMania week. Meaning, the last time they wrestled, it was at a glorified merch store. A glorified merch store. That is what WWE thinks of the Motor City Machine Guns. And it's precisely why the partnership, the relationship, the prioritization of the Machine Guns wasn't there. They don't get it. They never got it. I never expected them to get it. I just wished the best for the Machine Guns. So, screw me for wishing the best for them in WWE, but we all knew what was going to happen. They were going to have the initial tag team run because they love to take advantage of it early, and then they parked them. Then they benched them. Then they had them do meet and greets. Great, fantastic. They should meet the fans, but then they had them go do pre-show matches. Then they had them go do merch stand matches. At the merch stand. To quote Hulk Hogan, a year after his passing, that's the reason this company's in the shape it's in, because of bullshit like this. But hey, is what it is. I made a bold prediction that Finn Balor and Seth Rollins will join AEW in 27. I'm not sure when Finn's contract is up. I don't think Seth's contract, to my knowledge, as far as what I've read and what's been reported, I think it's, from what I've read, it's up later than that. So I don't know. Maybe Finn, though. But then again, I think Finn is a company guy. I think Finn is very happy in WWE. There's a reason why talent like Motor City Machine Guns and Andrade didn't work in WWE. That is Triple H and TKO like if Steve Austin was wrestling under TKO, he would. So I do want to like hone in on something. And Michelle, this is not like against you or anything. I think there is like a genuine misunderstanding of what TKO is and what WWE is. TKO and WWE are the same company. I do think we need to stop this, this separation, as if TKO wants one thing and WWE want the other. It is abundantly clear. Abundantly clear. And I know when people are talking about TKO, they mean like the suits like Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel. And when people say WWE, they mean Triple H. They're the same. They are the same priorities. They are in sync with what they want. Anything that tells you otherwise is deliberately misleading you. These promos that CM Punks of the world cut about, TKO being this, that, Cody Rhodes, it is deliberately trying to mislead you. It is deliberately trying to mislead you. TKO is WWE. WWE is TKO. They are the same thing. They share the same corporate structure. There is no difference. There's no difference in the way they're set up. There's no difference in the desires of each branch of that, if you will. Both of them want the same thing. They are in sync every step of the way. Now, could you make the argument that since the merger, the priorities of WWE have changed? Yes. But that means that the priorities not only have changed because of TKO, the priorities of the Triple H's of the world, of the Bruce Pritchards of the world, have changed along with it. There is no one in that structure, at the top, I should say, that thinks differently. They are part of the same corporate structure in TKO. They are TKO executives as well. So we need to stop. Do not give the cover to the idea of WWE. They are the same thing as TKO. It is one and the same. And I think WWE today, yes, I agree. They don't care about those types of talent. They want to build those mainstream acts. That is it. That is it. Sorry I keep asking this question, but is there any news on why Rosemary no-showed? I know that she no-showed. I'm not sure why. I hope everything is okay with Rosemary. Sorry. I hope everything's okay with Rosemary, but I'm not sure what's going on. I hope Asuka goes to AEW. She's perfect for them. Right now, I'm not sure where she'll go. I think she's genuinely taking time off. I don't know why they signed them anyway. Everybody knows WWE Tag Team Division is for the past 7 years. I mean, yeah. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. What's up, Shay? They should have noticed the writing on the wall before even signing with WWE, because before then, they went there in the first place. I mean, yeah, but I do think there was a part of them, like, they had already been in AEW in some capacity. I'm not gonna fault them for saying, listen, it is WWE. That does carry weight for certain wrestlers, for a lot of wrestlers. Like, being the biggest wrestling company of all time, that means something. That totally means something. And now they can say that they've held gold there. And maybe that was it. Maybe it was, let's ride this wave, see how far it takes us. If we hold gold, we can hold our heads high. And they did that. They did that. I fault WWE for not knowing what to do with the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, you can fault them as well for not knowing what to do with Andrade. Andrade is arguably the most over guy on the AEW roster today. And that is something you could never say. You couldn't have even conceived of that notion just a year ago. It's crazy. I know that, Omer, but I remember the black and gold era. I remember when Triple H took over in 2022 under Steph, but Triple H is, and I will call him, Triple H is a sellout. Yeah, he bought in. He bought into the vision. He bought into the vision. That is it. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That is what happened. Britt Baker, Wardlow, Hologram. Do you see them returning, or will we ever and will we never find out, or just injured? Hologram is injured. He had a very severe knee injury. He's going to be out for quite some time. I wouldn't expect him to return this year. Wardlow is, I think he's just waiting for creative. That sucked, man, because he injured himself the night he came back. That sucked. Britt is parked. I don't know what Tony's doing there. No idea what Tony Khan is thinking. No idea what Tony Khan is doing there. She's just parked. I pray Johnny Gargano leaves WWE and they're treating this man filthy. Yeah, I mean, SmackDown is live tonight, and we'll talk about the ticket sale numbers, which are not good for SmackDown tonight. But SmackDown is live from, I believe, Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Shout out to Mr. Anderson / Kennedy. But yeah, we're probably going to watch SmackDown tonight, and you're going to see Johnny Gargano, sad as a rock, on that little like cart that he's always on. Like, I don't know. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. But speaking of SmackDown, let's talk about SmackDown ticket sales for tonight. So they are live. I was right. They are live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Friday Night SmackDown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Resch Center. Right now, WrestleTix, the best sports ticketing or wrestling ticketing information app, or app, I should say. No, that's the other. That's an ad read. Sorry. Shout out SeatGeek, promo code RealTake. Save yourself $20 off your first purchase. But no, SmackDown emanating from the Resch Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Currently, they are set up for 5,378. Tickets distributed 4,500. Last time they were here, it was for Monday Night Raw. They were at 6,500. So certainly a smaller market than they're usually used to running. But this is one of the lowest numbers we've seen for Friday Night SmackDown since the pandemic. So that's pretty. It's a pretty big deal. Now, of course, the big caveat is the SummerSlam festivities have already kind of kicked off over there in Minneapolis, which, say what you want, it's pretty far away from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So it is, I think, a case of a lot of attention is over there on Minneapolis. A lot of the fans that would have traveled for this show are there, but the market itself is pretty small. So, and you have a product that's pretty cold at this point. So yeah, that makes sense. Was there anyone who fared better after leaving WWE for TNA? Anyone who fared better? I mean, listen. Strictly from a monetary standpoint, I think everyone is faring better. From a character standpoint, I mean, I think that there's a case to be made that Joe Hendry, and again, I'm not saying it's for me, but he is over in WWE. He is very over in WWE. His song, at least, is very over. And despite the abomination that was that I believe that you are cursed segment that him and Danhausen had, which was a major jumping the shark moment for both of their characters, despite that, I do believe that, you know, he is a very important part of that show in that, like, he's someone who can get a crowd pop every episode of Raw, who they can rely on to do that and fill time. And that's a necessary asset for any pro wrestling company. So, in that way, he's probably making way more money than he was in TNA. Way more money. So, I think, you know, he certainly is someone that stands out as doing better. A lot of other people, like the Jordan Grace of the world, I don't think so. I wouldn't. It's too early to tell for Mike Santana. You know, I mean, I can't think of anyone else. Like that report of WWE creative been under pressure because Netflix executives saw Raw is pathetic. Triple H should take Randy's advice, find his balls, left him at home. Okay. I mean, I just don't think the priorities are going to change. I think, Triple H has made it clear he's pretty high on his own supply when it comes to creative. And I think it's going to take like a significant downturn in business for them to seriously change. And maybe when AEW outdoes them compared to SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium, maybe that will be the wake-up call. I hope so. I really do. I want the WWE product to be better. Should they bring back other War Dog members to fight Bang Bang Gang instead of the Death Riders? I think that no. I mean, I don't think Tony's gonna do that. I think it's Bang Bang Gang versus Death Dogs, War Riders, one of those. I believe that you are Kurt. Gosh darn it, they got me. It did get stuck in my head. I hate watch that like twice, and like it got stuck in my head after that. We have updates on AEW redemption numbers. Now, this was very interesting. So for AEW redemption, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, early estimates are the lowest pay-per-view numbers of the year, maybe 115 to 125,000. For reference, AEW has been doing pretty well. Like they've been in that 135 to 150 range for AEW pay-per-views this year. I think what this does show you, because Redemption was a very poorly booked show. It was a very poorly built show. It had really no care put into it to the level we've seen traditionally with AEW. But this really does show you the kind of the floor, I think, for mainstream, main roster AEW pay-per-views, which, I mean, at this point, that's a pretty healthy number. That's a very healthy number for your C-tier pay-per-views or your B-tier pay-per-views. That's pretty good for something that people didn't even know existed until like 2 months ago. Yeah. Is it good in that like you booked a poor show? No. Is it good that you didn't care enough to build up to the show? No. But they made their bag. Okay. Good for them then, I guess. Who's a better booker, Triple H or Tony Khan? Right now, it's Tony, and it's not even close. He is booking circles around Triple H's bald ass. I believe that you are... Fudge. I got to stop that. Shout out to Kurt Angle. 30 years ago today, Kurt Angle won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Do you think Swerve and Timeless Tony Storm could have worked in WWE? I think if the investment was there in their characters and in their talent, yes. It obviously was not there, which is why they left. Let's be honest, Redemption was too close to All In, and everybody's just waiting for that pay-per-view instead of this one. Yep, that's precisely what it was. And AEW did not do the bare minimum to try to get you excited about Redemption. They just, yeah, it's tough. I think WWE are overexposing Danhausen too much. I agree. I think this was a major jumping the shark moment for the Danhausen character this week on Raw. I believe that you are... Damn it. Damn it. Oh, my... I hate Danhausen. Donovan Danhausen. Listen to the sound of my voice, Donovan Danhausen. Look at what you did, my boy. Look at what you did. Let's go. Oh, man. Adam Schefter invested in a gambling company. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It's happening. Do you think that concert was worse than Foley Devine? The Foley segment was... I don't even know. That Foley segment was trash. Jamie says, what are your thoughts of other YouTube content creators like JD, Solo Monster, and Ango? Do you recommend someone? No comment on the first one, but I've been watching Solo Monster for a very long time. I think his takes are honest. He will tell you his honest truth, and very insightful. Same with Ango. Ango is someone who early on reached out to me as a creator, and I'll always thank him for that. And we've collabed together before. I'll probably collab together at some point when we get the chance. But I've always respected him. He was one of the first people, like I said, that reached out to me when I started doing YouTube, and he's just great. And his takes are also, like, again, you will get the God's honest truth when you go to Ango. No comment on the first person you mentioned. I believe that we need to hit that like button. Yes! Hit that like button, people. Let's go. Let's get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. I need to get a soundboard. I really do need to invest in a soundboard. I really got to do that. I believe that you are cursed. Ah, damn it. Oh, damn it. That sucks. I really hate that. Everybody's wondering why Lio Rush is doing better than Danhausen. It's because Rush can actually wrestle. No, I mean, listen, bro. Shout out to Lio Rush. I am digging the Blackheart stuff. Danhausen is genuinely the only thing on WWE TV that has, or feels like it has any emotion put behind it. And it really shows. It is the only entertaining, it is for a while been the only entertaining thing on WWE TV. So, hate me if you want. Now, that segment on Raw was trash. It was bad. It was really bad. I was not with it. But I am a fan of the shenanigans. And I know people are taking a victory lap on Danhausen's expense and all that stuff, but come on, man. Like, he's the only thing that was good for a while. Shout out to Che Barnacles. I see you, bro. I see you lurking. What's good? What's good, bro? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Also, if you're in Michigan, primaries on Tuesday. Vote for Abdul El Sayed. Do not let AIPAC win. Do not let AIPAC corporate bought candidates win. Vote for Abdul El Sayed. Vote for Medicare for All. Vote for a free Palestine. Vote against genocide and against Israel's apartheid. Vote for Abdul El Sayed in Michigan. Another big story here that has been making the rounds that I think is pretty interesting is some backstage things that went down, potentially, allegedly. Whoa, breaking news. I'm just seeing this for the first time. According to Wrestling Observer Newsletter, some big returns happening in WWE potentially. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are on the way back. Could be fresh opponents for CM Punk if he retains versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. By God. Kevin Owens. I need Kevin Owens back in WWE, bro. I need KO back in WWE, man. It is, you know why? Because, listen, Kevin Owens, he will do what he is told as far as, like, winning, losing, all that kind of. He will do what he's told. But Kevin will put himself into that promo more than anybody I know on that roster. He always finds a way to make it feel real. So, shout out to Kevin Owens, especially after the devastating neck surgery he had. If he's truly on his way back, that's great. If he's on his way back against CM Punk, the matches I'm sure are going to be fantastic. I wish I could say the promos are going to be really good, but I don't trust WWE because they have botched every single layup as far as, feud with some real life back and forth they could have had. Look at Randy versus Cody. Look at CM Punk versus Cody. Kevin Owens versus CM Punk had the potential to be like all-time levels great as far as the promo battles go. I just don't think they'll get the opportunity to do a great promo. I just don't think that will happen because it will involve potentially doing some stuff that WWE does not want to do. They don't want to in any way, shape, or form even allude to the idea that there is wrestling outside of WWE. So, I think really, like, there is so much to build on between the animosity between Punk and Kevin Owens. Like, you have the history of Punk, backstage at an indie show, basically being like, Kevin's fat and he won't do anything in this business. You have the history of Kevin Owens being very, very, very close friends with the Young Bucks and everything that went down there. And CM Punk obviously has a lot of animosity towards the Young Bucks. Like, and we know for a fact, like, listen, Kevin has taken shots at Punk in the past. Remember, whenever he sees CM Punk merch backstage, he tosses it. That's all ad-lib by Kevin. When CM Punk took a shot at Hangman Page on WWE TV, when he's talking about movesets or whatever, what did Kevin Owens do? Took a shot right back at him defending Hangman, talking about, I have the best moveset. Again, very small things, but they add up and tell a story, but it's not one that WWE wants to tell. I'm sure they are going to do a story that in some way, shape, or form revolves around the idea that Kevin believes that Punk never saw anything good in him, and they're going to do some sort of respectability story where Kevin earns Punk's respect. When in reality, it's like, why the fuck should Kevin Owens have to earn CM Punk's respect? CM Punk should have to earn Kevin Owens' respect. Kevin Owens is the guy who has been wrestling nonstop for the past 20 years. Kevin Owens, the guy that when CM Punk left, he carried the mantle of being that alternative within WWE. The guy who made things feel real. The guy who would tell the real promos. Kevin Owens was carrying that mantle while CM Punk was on his couch in Chicago. That's not a story they're going to tell, though. They wouldn't dare tell that story with Cody Rhodes. Why would they do it with Kevin Owens? Why would they do the most interesting thing they could do? Why would they? Roll Tide. Randy being back, though, is going to be interesting. It's crazy. The last we saw Randy Orton, he jobbed out to Cody at Mania and then got his heat back by, like, punting Cody, and then he's gone. It made no sense. Like, that finish at WrestleMania infuriates me so much to this day. John Cena's feud with Kevin Owens is criminally underrated, like, should be talked about in the same as the AJ feud and the Edge feud, at least from the storyline point of view. I agree. And it made Kevin Owens. He was a made man from that moment. Not saying WWE needs to be friendly with every wrestling promotion, but please do not play the fans like they're stupid or acting like they don't exist. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, WWE, it is not a show or a program, as I said the other day. It's not a show nor a program that rewards you for being a long-time watcher. I'll be a little salty if there's a storyline that can capitalize on brawl-out situation, but it's in WWE, not AEW. The thing is, I really want someone to capitalize on it. I don't care who it is. You know what? I don't care who it is. For whatever reason, it is the most captivating moment in pro wrestling, period, for the past, 5 years or whatever. You could talk about Vince leaving WWE. You could talk about Cody finishing the story all you want. There was not a single solitary moment that captured the attention and engagement of wrestling fans more than Brawl Out. I know personally because that's when this channel took off. I know personally because that's when the views on wrestling videos all across the board on content creation started to take off. That's why everybody and their mother was doing a Brawl Out video for weeks on end after Brawl Out. That's why everyone and their mother was doing CM Punk follow-up videos every single day because you guys watched it, because the fans were engaged. The fact that WWE has all of the pieces they could want to try to make and tell that story and make it work, and they don't, is so baffling to me from a business point of view. Because you could get one up on AEW. Triple H could be like, I did something Tony couldn't even freaking do. You could tell a really cool, interesting, engaging story that feels real, yet they won't. Because pride, because ego, because they don't freaking care enough. The care isn't there in the product. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? And if you think the care isn't there, you gotta... Nah, let me chill. Let me chill on that. Anyway. Oh, let me not show my phone on screen. Whoa. Sorry. Work message. But that's interesting. I did not know Randy and KO were on their way back. That's good news, at least. What's the biggest wrestling storyline now in your eyes? Right now, in this moment, the biggest story is Kenny versus Will. In wrestling, period. In WWE, I mean, the biggest, it's CM Punk Cody. It's not the best by any means. I think the biggest as far as like drawing power, attention, and being quality is certainly Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. And that promo, like anyone who tells you that these two can't cut a promo, like I'm sorry, you don't watch. You don't watch. Is what it is. You don't understand wrestling. It's quite unfortunate if you're a content creator and you genuinely believe that. 10 toes down. I'll tell anyone that too. Sneak peek at the SummerSlam stage. Okay. So something's going on there. I mean, I guess they got to cover up half the stadium, right? Chill. Let me chill on that. Allegedly. What else is going on, guys? What do you guys want to talk? All Cody Rhodes edition. What do you want to talk about? This is Big Ohm Live programming note. Be sure to leave a super chat, leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz. What else you guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Come on. Let's go. Hit that like button. I'm here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Tekla has impressed me so much. I didn't get her when she first came over, but now she's one of my favorite females, not just in AEW, but in all of wrestling. Yeah, finally. Yeah. I mean, like, listen. She, I was telling somebody this, and like, this is someone who doesn't really watch AEW, and, like, they were like, is Tekla good? I don't think she's good. And I was like, listen, bro, like, she's very good. I implore you to watch the product. Whoa, what happened there? That was crazy. Okay. Yeah. You gotta watch. If you tell me that you don't think Tekla is good, you gotta watch. Anyway, what else is going on, guys? Motor City Machine Guns finally in AEW. Yep. Listen, bro, scrap this Cope and Cage versus Young Bucks crap in a singles match, and just give me tables, ladders, and chairs. Cope and Cage, FTR, Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns, and New Day. Make it a cluster. Make it the greatest like multi-man tag team ladder match of all time. Let's do it. Tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my, you have Mick Foley. You could do that. Oh, you could do that. It's going to be tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my. Like, oh, you could do that. You could do that. Come on. Whose idea was it for you to know who to pin? God, how did that work? For me? Oh, imagine Cody wins tomorrow and R-Truth comes out as Stardust. You know what's crazy? That's something WWE could do. I mean, maybe not at SummerSlam, but I could see them doing that at some point. You just hear, and he's just like, Stardust! And like he tries to do a cartwheel and then he falls over. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. That's pretty sad, bro. That's pretty sad that's what I expect out of wrestling in the big 2026. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is interesting. Okay, we got the War Raiders versus R-Truth and Damian Priest. Oh, is this title versus title? Okay, that's pretty. Listen, shout out. They're doing title versus title gimmicks now. That's good. I hope that match cooks. Omer says, I'm going to go live at 6:15. Slap him. You liar. You lied. Hey, man, I went live. I've been here. Listen, I've been here for almost an hour, all right? You had an hour to tune in. You had an hour to tune in. All right? It's not my fault. Things got busy. I work. Believe it or not, I work, okay? I was doing stuff for work. Let's just chill out. Let's chill out. Calm down. Whoa, hold it. Let's hold them britches. Calm down. Calm down now. AEW Dynamite ratings. 676 with a .12 in the 18 to 39 demo, or 49 demo, excuse me. You can see right here is Brandon Thurston at WrestleNomics putting all of this information together. 3,700 tickets estimated distributed. I mean, that's not the important part. Obviously, the important part is the ratings. So they were coming off of a couple of episodes where they were, doing above 700,000, and now they've dipped below that. Is part of that because of the very extended overrun? Maybe, but in reality, this, I'm sure, has to do with, I think a pretty lackluster, pay-per-view, and coming off of that. But they followed it up with what many believe, myself included, to be like an all-time level Dynamite. So maybe that'll help them. But, they suffered a 9% decline they suffered a 4% decline compared to the previous week. And in the key 18 to 39 demo, they are pretty much the same. So, again, I think it's a product of what happens when you have a weak pay-per-view that was poorly built and you're coming off of that. Now, they did the right thing. They gave an all-time level show, but the real thing is you got to keep it up, because you're going to see some people probably try to tune in to see the fallout of that amazing Kenny versus Will segment, of that amazing Mercedes versus Willow segment. But you gotta keep on going. You gotta keep on going. This is your warning. Yo, okay, I did think about this. Like, after I watched it again, and then I did think about, I'm like, yo, he really did the warning shot gimmicks for Jey Uso. But he did it better. So can I really be mad? I mean, listen, it also worked for the story. Oh, yeah, I can slap a tornado. What would you like to see from MLW weekly TV show, more pay-per-views? I mean, I would like to see them. I would like to see MLW, and I know that, I'm not sure what's going on with their WWE settlement money. I would love to see them start, invest in, getting serious. Find some serious investors, invest in taking that next step. Because the reality is, I do believe that MLW has the potential to, challenge a TNA for that number 3 spot if they play their cards right and they get some, and they really invest in the company from a production standpoint, from signing some talent away. There is that. That's what I would love to see. I think there needs to be competition, additional competition. And they should try to compete for some market share, because the product that they put on is very heralded and very good and has been very consistent. It's just a byproduct of the stars are not that big, and unless they have an MJF or someone like that showing up, there's not that much attention on their shows. You heard Netflix executives are not happy about Monday Night Raw. I mean, I'm sure they're not happy about the numbers. Raw is doing right around 1 million in the U.S. So, sure. or less than that live, I should say. Motor City Machine Guns debuting on a Thursday was low-key boss move. I thought the opposite. I thought it was weird. I thought it was very weird. I thought that was a mistake. MLW on Thursday nights? Sure, yeah, why not? You're not going head-to-head on Fridays. Certainly not going head-to-head on Wednesdays. I wouldn't do Mondays either, so Tuesdays, Thursdays are your days. AEW All In will outshine SummerSlam. F the haters. I mean, will it? Probably. I would be surprised if it didn't, considering how some of these WWE pay-per-views go. But again, that says more about WWE pay-per-views. Like, AEW does not have to try that hard to make All In better than SummerSlam, because the truth of the matter is WWE won't be trying hard at all to try to make that a good show, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm entertained by what I see over this weekend, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case. But in the end, I guess we'll see. See what I did there? You see what I did there? Yeah. What else is going on, guys? What do you want to talk about?
But winners always want the ball when the game is on the line. The ace always wants the ball. But winners want the ball. The ace wants the ball.
Okay, that's crazy. Yo, okay, so not only did Ospreay rip off of Jey Uso, but he also ripped off of Jon Moxley's post-brawl out promo from 2022. Winners always want the ball. The ace wants the ball. That is wild. Solo should be world champion at least once. If that's what floats your boat, sure. I really wish AEW would let a big man win the world title. Yeah, I mean, AEW does not do well with big men. Outside of Samoa Joe. I mean, I guess no. Samoa Joe is a big man who's won the title. I know people don't traditionally just think of him as like a big man, but like, he is a big man. That's a big man. Is Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling showing the future for Canadian wrestling? Yes, they are. What do you see MJF doing at All In? I think MJF Andrade for the national title. I think that's probably the direction they'll go in, and I think Andrade should win that. I think you set up Andrade for a main event world title match at All Out. And maybe you have Andrade win. That'd be crazy. Yo, the internet would kill me for that take. It comes in 3. AEW is a big money to Okada, Mercedes, Ospreay, all around the same time. Now it's big money to New Day, Sheamus, and Bayley. I don't think much money is left for others, though. I think they're going to be fine. Remember, their TV deals kicked in. According to WrestleNomics and Brandon Thurston, they are in at least a realm of profitability with this TV deal. Again, we don't know the finances for sure, but yeah. Thoughts on the Continental Cup? Yeah, I guess I was mistaken when I did my post show for Dynamite this week. I originally said and thought that they were just moving the Continental Classic up, but this seems to be a completely different thing from the Continental Classic. The Continental Cup is not a round-robin tournament. It's just a straight-up tournament, 16-man tournament leading into All In. So, bit different, but same deal. Mox has to go defend his belt in a tournament, and I'm sure he's going to make it to the final. And I believe that he's probably going to lose in the final, too. Someone asked, what's Hangman going to do? I think that's what he's going to do. I think it's Hangman Mox at All In, a rematch, ironically enough, of the main event of All In last year. And Hangman captures the AEW Continental Belt. And then maybe we see, finally, after almost a year, the disintegration of the Death Riders. Sheamus, please don't. I mean, I think Sheamus is going to join AEW at some point. I don't know when, but at some point he will. Does the Continental Club make the Continental Classic pointless? I don't know about pointless, but I guess maybe this is like a thing quarterly. Like part of the deal being the Continental Champion is defending your belt quarterly now in these tournaments. That could be an interesting wrinkle to differentiate the belt at least. I like that. Told you, mate, it was another kind of tournament. Listen, okay, you were right. Shit, okay. Oh, whoa, hey, oh. Calm down now. Don't take this tone with me. Did you sign up for Club WWE Club WWE, whatever? I know. No. I'm brother. What do you? No. I'm not paying $100 a year or whatever it is to get exclusive, to get the ability to shop for exclusive merch. No. I'm not paying $100 a year to get the ability to get early access to tickets. No. I'm not doing any of that. Come on now. Yeah, he told you. Okay. All right. You calm down now, too. I will put you in timeout, Wall Street Money. Hot take. If AEW want Forbidden Door to be interesting again, they need to put MLW or MPW part of it. I agree. I think it's $100. There is no way Club WWE is $100 a month. How much is Club WWE? It's $99 a year, $825 a month. Okay, let's. $100 per month would legitimately be terrorism by WWE. Legitimately like terrorism. You Italian? Oh, I have been watching a lot of Sopranos. So listen, I've been influenced for sure. Oh, Columbus was a hero. Like how dare you say that about Christopher Columbus? It was pretty bad what he did to the Native Americans. Oh, I think we made up for that. It's like, I don't agree, but I hate Columbus. Oh, why do you hate Columbus? He was from Genoa in the north. Dude, I hate the north. My AEW monopolizing the indies. Yeah, that was a big story. So my AEW has basically taken the place of what Triller before that Fight TV was doing. And they have added a bunch of organizations to their library. You can see this press release from AEW that kind of breaks it down. My AEW streaming service expands content offerings on the road to All In. So now it's a boatload of different organizations and companies. Some of the more prominent ones, 1FW, WrestleCade, CMLL, ML, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, Rev Pro, just to name a few. I mean, these are big. House of Glory, I believe I see there. Like these are big promotions, big indie promotions that, otherwise would have been on Triller. Or let's be honest, Triller is basically going destitute. They needed a place to go, and my AEW filled the void. From a business perspective, I think this is really good for both the companies as well as AEW. I think, much like how WWE during the network days, they added a bunch of indie promotions, especially those British indie promotions like Evolve and others to their libraries, and you would be able to watch those shows. And you can say what you want about are they eating them up? No, but I mean, this seems to just be a straight up streaming deal. And for AEW, it's important because it's additional revenue. People are going to be paying for these pay-per-views in some way, shape, or form. And now AEW, because they have the streaming service, is going to be able to get some of that revenue just for streaming it. So again, it's part of their expansion. It's part of their business. And I think that it's a bit of a win-win because I think if you're looking at the landscape of wrestling, I think you could probably trust AEW a little bit more than WWE to not interfere with what you got going on. That being said, I'm not going to say there's not going to be any because, again, companies are companies. But, yeah, damn, they got CML. I know. I'm so hyped. That there's a way other than that damn YouTube to watch CMLL. Some of the best wrestling feuds are when two wrestlers don't like each other. That's why I wanted Elite versus Punk. That should have happened. That should have happened. Ego should have been put aside by Punk. Ego should have been put aside by the Elite. That feud should have happened. It would have been one of the biggest feuds. It would have been like the biggest feud that Tony Khan has ever booked if he would have been able to pull it off. He unfortunately was not, and that's a failure on his part. Brother. Brother. What the fuck, brother? What the... Listen. Listen. Brother, what? my king. This is... I really wish I had a soundboard. I really wish I had a soundboard. I need to get a soundboard ASAP. That is... Wow. That is, all right. That's sick wrestling. It is not. It is not. It is not. No comment on these allegations. TK is creating a real wrestling network. Agree to agree. They should have done some business. Okay, all right. It's crazy we're talking about tortas in the chat. I mean, hey, shout out to the tortas. Shout out to the tortas. It is sad that Randy Orton hasn't broken the record for 16 titles. He's not breaking that record. I mean, it's not 16 titles, it's 17 now. But also, I mean, again, the WWE record, I guess, is Cena at 17. We're talking about Ric Flair's record. His real record is like, what, 21, I believe? Let me see. I think it's 21 or 22. How many titles did Ric Flair win? Yeah, so WWE claims that it's... Yeah, so WWE claims 16, but it really is somewhere between 20 to 21, or 25. Depending on who you count. Give me... I don't even know what that is. What can we expect from SummerSlam? I mean, you can expect... Let me not. Let's talk about SummerSlam. Let's preview SummerSlam a bit. According to Rick, it's 26. Well, okay, listen. Rick was also, like, just inebriated all hell during, like, half that time. So, you know, I don't think he remembers. I do think, like, you know, a definitive number is 21 as far as the minimum he won. But let's talk about the SummerSlam card. You got Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. This is Liv Morgan's first defense of the belt. You got Obafemi versus Brock, Hell in a Cell. This is all Saturday night, by the way. CM Punk versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed WWE Championship. Six-man tag match, LA Knight stuck with Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys to battling Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu. Gunta versus Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis. Sorry, not Nick Aldis. Bella Twins. And Paige versus Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Laney Reed, and Fallon Henley. Night 2, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Penta versus Chad Gable for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair versus Julia or Last Legend, I should say, in a 5-way ladder match to determine the interim WWE Women's Champion. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio on a human monies on a pole match. Vince Russo back in action. Winner gets to keep $100,000 that Danhausen stole from the Judgment Day. All right. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Number one contenders match to determine the number one contender, I should say, for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin for the WWE United States Championship. Listen, a lot of names on this card. 6 matches per show. That is pretty. That is up from the 4 to 5 that we usually see on these cards. So that's good. That gives me some level of optimism that we'll begin to see, hopefully, a reintroduction of wrestling on these shows, because there hasn't been much of that. I'm optimistic about Oba versus Brock. I won't be able to watch live, but because I'm going to be watching Spider-Man tomorrow. But I'm optimistic about Oba versus Brock. I'm very optimistic about the in-ring quality of CM Punk versus Cody. I'm optimistic that Gunther and Nick Aldis are going to throw balls to the walls. I have no hope for either of the 6 man or woman tag team matches at all. I'll just be honest. And listen, I think Io Sky is going to carry Liv Morgan to hopefully a competent match. You have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins on night 2. That is either going to be very good or it's going to be Shield chair Roman Reigns long-term storytelling bollocks. Penta versus Chad. I think it's this is one of those. It could be great or it will be shit. What's that quote? Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. Yep. Tiffany versus Jade versus Chelsea versus Charlotte versus Julia or Lash. I mean, listen. I think it's very difficult to mess up a ladder match, so optimistic there. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm either going to love this or hate it. I hope I'm going to love it. I think Danhausen is good. Although, anything on a poll, pretty bad. Sami versus Finn. I'm most optimistic on this entire card about this match. I think both of them have something to prove, and hopefully Sami gets his number one contendership. And Trick versus Bebo Baron Corbin. I have no expectations for that. So yeah, I mean, listen, this has a couple of matches I'm looking forward to, and we'll see. By the way, someone uploaded the Spider-Man movie on Twitter. I did see that. Someone also uploaded the Odyssey, and I somehow found my doom scrolling, and I watched the first 10 minutes of the movie. I was like, wait a minute, I gotta wait for this to come out. I gotta go see this in IMAX. Wait, isn't that from Gattuso? Yeah, football memes, mate. Yeah, I know a couple. Listen, I am pretty soon here. I will be unveiling my first ever Premier League team. I stayed away from supporting Premier League because I did not want to support the Brits in any capacity in football. But I have been, persuaded to alter that belief. Barcelona is still number 1. Shout out to the new GOAT. Listen, Messi is the GOAT, but now we got baby GOAT, Lamine Yamal. We got baby GOAT over there in Barcelona, okay? But now we need to expand. Big Ohm is expanding his fandom. We are invading Britain through fandom, of course. And I will be unveiling my Premier League team. I will tell you right now, it is not fucking Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal. They can suck it. I hate Arsenal. I will never be a fan of Arsenal. I will never wear that red. Never, never, never. They are an abomination to the sport of soccer and or football. Fuck Arsenal. And no, it will not be I don't watch Ted Lasso. It's not going to be the fucking Tottenham Hotspurs either. And it won't be Fulham FC. It will not be Fulham FC either, all right? Before I get the AEW shill allegations. No, fuck Fulham FC too. Fuck them all. Anyway. It does not take much for me to crash out on stream, does it? Oh man. What's going on, guys? I don't know how I got on that rant. But yeah, I listen, we got a couple of teams. And you guys will be the first to know. When real take soccer, real take football, real take goals, whatever we're gonna call it. Probably real take goals because I don't want to shoehorn myself into soccer or football. When one of those starts up, you'll know. You'll know. It's what we do, long-term storytelling. Is Killer Cross a good MLW champion? Yeah, I think he's great. The watch you wearing. Or what's the watch you wearing? Oh. It's a great segue. So this watch, actually, is by a brand called Nominal. This is free advertising for them. They're not a sponsor. But shout out to Nominal. They make a lot of really cool jewelry and accessories and apparel. And they are actively supporting Palestine throughout the ongoing genocide. Part of their proceeds go to supporting people in Palestine, both in the West Bank and Gaza. So shout out to Nominal. That is the watch I'm wearing. And if you actually look closely, you can see that the numbers are written in proper Arabic numerals. There we go. I think you can kind of see that close. There it is. They're written in proper Arabic numerals. So shout out to them. Shout out to Nominal. Go check them out. I buy stuff from them pretty often, and the quality is very good. It's affordable, and you are supporting a fantastic cause, the fantastic cause of Palestine as they continue to go through an ongoing genocide at the hands of the imperialist apartheid Israeli regime. So, yeah. Okay, I see you, another United fan. Welcome to the club. We lost. We lose, but we lose in style. Hey, man, listen. You will be. Listen, we'll do something. I'll do some sort of an unveiling on Twitter or something. By the way, I'm gonna be a lot more active on Twitter. I've decided to do that. So go follow. Oh, where is it? There we go. Go follow me on Twitter, on X if you can. I will be more active on there. Go do that. It's right there. But yeah, it's like free Palestine, free Palestine, always, now and always. Yeah, like it's crazy, dog. Like someone once told me, they said, are you like do you talk about like your like political stuff on stream? Like won't that scare away fans? I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. You gotta speak the truth always. Speak the truth always. And the truth is that when people are dying, when people are being slaughtered, systematically slaughtered, you cannot ignore it if you have a heart and a conscience. And I won't. Never. I'm gonna send you a tweet right now. Send me a tweet. Sure. Send me a tweet and I will put it up on screen. I will put it up on screen right now, Wall Street Money. But you got to follow me. That's the thing. You have to follow me. If you don't follow me, I'm not putting it up. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, SummerSlam, like Obafemi versus Brock is another one I'm looking forward to. I am less bullish on this being Brock's final match. I just believe wholeheartedly that the Saudi blood money that he could get from that Riyadh season, from Riyadh season for WrestleMania is more valuable to him than a retirement. I think he will be back for WrestleMania. And I think that's when they probably run Gunther versus Brock. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe come tomorrow, come 24 hours from now, we'll find out that I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong. That's fine. I just think that I don't see a world where Brock is not at Mania next year. I think their WWE, not WWE, but Saudi Arabia, the Saudi regime is going to pay a psychotic amount of money for this show. They've already paid hundreds of millions of dollars for the show. They're going to pay. Oh wow, that is an insane name. That is an insane name. I don't know if I want to follow you back, Wall Street Money. That is a wild-ass name. I hope that's a meme. I hope that's a meme. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. What are you sending me, though? Anyway, all right. Maybe we won't put this up. All right. Anyway, guys. Jesus. Oh, here we go. Cody Rhodes has arrived at at Friday Night SmackDown, people. Cody is here in the building, along with 4,500 strong for Friday Night SmackDown. He's wearing his Club WWE shirt, exclusive merch. Get it now at Club WWE. I fucking hate Michael Cole. All right, I'm gonna put up a poll in the chat. Like, I legitimately want to know. I legitimately want to know. Like, do people think Michael Cole is an all-time great announcer? Because, like, I've gotten into arguments with people about this. I need to know. Because, like, people are like, oh, he's an all-time great. I'm like, compared to what? Like, he's not better than JR. He's not better than Gordon Sully. He's not better than Mauro Ranallo. I'm like, come on. Like, tell me, really, is Michael, I put it in the chat. I'm going to pin it in the chat. Like, is Michael Cole an all-time level commentator? I really need you guys to edumacate me, as one would say, because I legit, I don't get it. Maybe it's me. The promo tonight, I love you, CM Punk. I want to make love to you, CM Punk, is what I think you want to say. I mean, I guess SmackDown is starting, but it doesn't care. I don't care. You hear Vince might be back in WWE? That's my prediction. I think he'll be back at Saudi Mania. Yeah, like, I mean, I personally think Michael Cole is like a horrendous announcer, but his job is not to be a good announcer. His job is to be a mouthpiece for whatever the office wants. Yes, from a WWE. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I need a soundboard because I got so many things. What do you mean by that? The Drewski effect. What do you mean by that? Like, actually, what do you mean by that? Come on. Like, what do you, like, I don't know. He's not even better than Excalibur. That's a pretty low bar these days. Excalibur, I really liked Excalibur early on in AEW. I mean, maybe it's a byproduct of, like, Taz and Tony rubbing off on him because they're horrible. But he has not had a good couple of years here. He's good at play-by-play. I don't think so, because he doesn't talk about the matches. He's just like, here we go, Cody, of course. Former WWE champion. And now Cody, getting the crowd revved up here. By the way, this match is presented by Slim Jim. Snap into it. Key sponsor here for WWE. Like, no, like, that's all he does. Talk about match for 1 second. Shill. That's it. Talk about match again. Shill. Only folks who started watching during his tenure on commentary, he doesn't hold a candle to JR. No, JR is the greatest. Excalibur in PWG was a fucking problem. That was crazy. He was a fucking problem in PWG. Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, no, JR, anyone who tells you Michael Cole is better than JR, if you think Michael Cole is better than JR, we'll host a call-in. I'm gonna legitimately do like call-ins, like debates about that, because that's just crazy to me. AEW commentary lacks energy and excitement, especially Taz and Shivani. My ideal AEW commentary team, to be honest with you, at this point, would be some variation. Like, it would be a three-man booth: Nigel, Brian, and Excalibur. And if not Excalibur, give me Ian Riccaboni, because I think Ian Riccaboni is fantastic. But I would love a consistent booth of Nigel, Excalibur, And Bryan, I think Excalibur and Bryan are good enough at doing the job that Taz and Shivani are either incapable of or just don't do, which is adding to the matches, giving that wrestler's perspective. There's enough in them to like kind of go back and forth, and enough heat between them to go back and forth a little bit, make things a little entertaining when you need it to. But they also understand, and those guys are there, they understand their job is to get the wrestlers in the ring over. And I think that will allow Excalibur, hopefully, to be a little bit more serious and I think, reach his potential, because he was a very good commentator for a while. He just hasn't been for the past couple of years. And it's sad. Ian is the guy. Love him. Yeah, no. Ian's great. Ian's also fantastic on ROH. Willing to bet money that The Rock is going to step in and pull Cody on Oba versus Roman and try to make his spot in Mania. I mean, that's if Oba challenges Roman. I don't think Oba versus Roman is going to be the match. I don't believe that Oba will beat Roman for the belt. There is going to be something insane is going to happen between now and then, where Roman is going to, if he loses the belt, it is going to be by some crazy, insane like loophole or finish. It is not going to be clean. JR be like, God damn you, Triple H. Yo, JR, here, let me see if I can pull up I'll probably get demonetized for this, but it's worth educating the masses. JR had a call, the Raw before Mania X7, where he went into full super duper cell mode, and it was crazy. Let's see. Rock, Austin, Raw before Mania X7. I'm trying to find that one. Oh, God. Not the SmackDown thing. I don't need the SmackDown. No, I don't want that either. I need, like, the ending of Raw that night. Oh, my goodness. No. They just have the SmackDown sit down. I'm looking for a very specific thing here. Anyway, I guess I'm not going to find it. Yeah, because that was a simulcast Raw, right? Let me see. Raw. I'm sorry. I know I'm like being I'm not talking. Rock Austin, simulcast Raw. I think this is it. No, I guess not. Maybe it is. Maybe I gotta. Okay, I'm gonna have to do the weird like thing where I know where it is. It's in it's buried in an OSW episode. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Here we go. I found it. So this is the audio of that. This is the biggest sell job by any announcer, any commentator in pro wrestling history. This is JR audio of simulcast Raw, March 26, 2001. Shout out to OSW for sourcing this. I had to go to their video to find it. But this just shows you, like, this shows you exactly the type of selling that used to exist and what got people excited back in the day. Just does not exist in this current day.
Thank you. That's a great gimmick. Rock leaves Austin a beer. JR goes into a mega awesome supercell.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like when Austin comes to? Can you imagine what it's going to be like this Sunday at WrestleMania? The biggest extravaganza in the history of the WWF, and that man, The Rock, has just shoved it. Foot and all down the gut of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now the tip, the salute, the toast. My God, WrestleMania, The Rock and Austin, Sunday.
Like, how do you cannot compare that to what Michael Cole does. Like, it is the biggest show in wrestling history, and it is because, in part, JR used to sell these shows like that. Now it's like, my goodness, I get those goosebumps every time. Like, Michael Cole sucks, bro. Michael Cole, I'm tired, man. I'm so sick and tired of playing the nice guy. Michael Cole is trash. He's a bad commentator. He's trash. If you don't debate me, I don't care. I really don't care. He's garbage, bro. You cannot compare what he does to what JR used to do, to what Mauro Ranallo used to do, to what Gordon Soley used to do, to what even the likes of Tony Schiavone, who I'm not a huge fan of as a commentator, but Tony, pound for pound, when at his height in WCW, was better. It's just like, it is what it is. If AEW pull a 39 on Ospreay, what will be your reaction? Oh, buddy, that would... I mean, here's the thing. The only difference is Roman's title reign, would have been the perfect time to end Roman's title reign. The only thing that would keep me invested is the fact that Kenny just won the belt. Now, I think it would be a mistake at this point, because you are selling Wembley on this idea that Ospreay is there and there to win. But I think Ospreay is going to win. If he doesn't, they better have an ace up their sleeve, because you're going to burn that London market for a bit. So we'll see. NXT commentary team is like that. I mean, listen, shout out to Vic Joseph and Booker T. Shucky ducky quack quack. Like, I know, are people reacting to the JR thing? Yeah, no, JR is like the GOAT, bro. Like, yeah. No one comes close to JR. Like, you guys heard that. It's like, oh, what's it gonna be like? WrestleMania, the extravaganza, Sunday. And it's also from a business point of view. I know, oh my God. For friggin' Vince hated JR because he sounds Southern. Bro, you owe JR a lot of money because he sold those pay-per-views. He did his job. Tony Khan just does a run-in, all-in, and tells him to ring the bell. Yeah, the London screw job, the Wembley screw job. That would be... Let me tell you something. I would be live on the scene. We'd be live, baby. We would be live on the scene at Wembley Stadium, covering the action. That would be crazy time. Hot take. The Rock should have been more selfish back in the Attitude Era when it came to losing matches to Stone Cold. Do you agree? No. Stone Cold was the biggest star. From like every point of view. And The Rock, I mean, here's the thing. The Rock won in the end. I don't know what happened there. The Rock won in the end. More longevity. He is a member of the board of directors. He won. He's a bigger name recognition worldwide than any wrestler of all time. Stone Cold is still the best. Stone Cold is still better than The Rock. He's still more over than The Rock. He still will always get a bigger pop than The Rock, but that's just among wrestling fans. Dark Side of the Ring, the Wembley screw job. That would be wild. My only gripe with Tony Schiavone was every WCW Monday Night was like, the greatest night in the history of the sport. He does that still. He's like, this is a fantastic AEW moment. Oh my goodness. I love it. I don't even know who these wrestlers are. Wow, this is great. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen. And it's like a 2.25 star match for the national title. I'm like, yo, Tony, what are you talking about, brother? What are you talking about, my dog? How much is Vince paying The Rock? Because every time he talks about paycheck, he was acting like he was homeless in the 90s. I mean, he was pretty broke before he joined the WWF. That much I think is pretty true. He's pretty broke. But he very quickly became a big star and made good money. Very quickly. Dun, 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 dun. The Rock says, know your damn role. What else you guys got going on? What else you guys want to talk? What do you want to talk about? All that stuff. I mean, Spider-Man. Brand new day? I'm super hyped to see that. We're finally getting a proper Tom Holland Spider-Man movie where he's not like, like Tony Stark's little intern and where he has all this technology. He genuinely has to be Spider-Man, which means broke as hell, no friends, no recognition, none of that. No money, no women, none of it. Bro is going to community college. He's juggling all these things. He has a suit that barely fits him. This is supposed to be Spider-Man. Talk about the New Day short video. I did the other day. It was really cool, and I highly recommend people check it out. That did get my video demonetized, but it was worth it because that was a very cool video. And the little nod of the head, the Biggie pony that did a little nod was very sad. Tear-jerking moment for sure. Tobey Maguire is still the best Spider-Man. He's my favorite Spider-Man, man, but Tom Holland's very good as well. My favorite Batman, and this is a hot take, my favorite Batman is Robert Pattinson. He's the best Batman. Hi, Omen chat. I'm going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day on Monday. I've heard very good things. I think Kettle went to go see it today. I'm going to go see it tomorrow, and I'm super hyped. I'm elated. I can't wait. Oh, Sami Zayn apparently crashed out on CM Punk.
As the WWE champion again. He beat Cody Rhodes clean as a whistle in the middle of that ring to become WWE champion, and I know for a fact that I can do it again. Also like to see CM Punk retain the championship. The biggest fraud, the biggest hypocrite, the biggest piece of trash in this company, bar none. The guy who sat on this stage all those years ago with his edgy pipe bomb crying because his face wasn't on the collectible cups. Well, congratulations, CM Punk. You've ascended to the high rank of corporate poster boy number 2.
Yo, Sammy. Whoa. Woo. Woo. Sammy. Yo, man. Sammy, yo. People will not talk about it. He's the best right now. He's better than everyone at the top of the main event of WWE. People don't want to talk about it. Sammy is operating at a completely different level. Shout out Sami Zayn, bro. Shout out Sami Zayn. Punk deserves that. CM show. Yeah. All right, guys. This has been a fun stream. I might do something Sunday for SummerSlam. I'll let you guys know, but tomorrow pretty cooked. But be on the lookout on Twitter for my stuff. And then also, obviously, as you guys know, you guys want more consistent content and takes. Every 2 days, basically, I release a video over on youtube.com/WrestleVibes. That is where you see a lot of docu-style content, so go check that out. A lot of cool stuff there over the past couple of days. Just a couple of hours ago, I released my Motor City Machine Guns are in AEW are perfect. The Redemption of Andrade El Idolo, and so much more. Go check that out. Subscribe. Crash Out live stream on Sunday, only if the show is hot stinking garbage that I had to sit through. But I will find out all that on Sunday because that's when I'm going to watch night 1 and night 2. Until then, I hope all of you have a fantastic night. I hope all of you do something fun this weekend or this night. Enjoy your fun with your friends, your family, whoever your loved ones are, or have fun with yourself. That came out wrong. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.
Yeah. Pop in, burning like this.